Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today WTF is Primal the Awakening. And with Monster Hunter, the official board game coming to Kickstarter this year, Lipstickpaddy is devising a special pledge that you may join him for a versus series later on in the year. But let Lipstickpaddy tell you all about that, and he'll tell you also his thoughts on this epic campaign. So Lipstickpaddy, are you there? Please take it away. Oh my goodness, here it is. Primal the Awakening. This really is a legend that has been crafted here by the great team from Italy. Yep, a fully cooperative deck crafting boss battler board game featuring card-driven tactical combat and large-scale miniatures. And oh my goodness me. Day one, doing excellent. It's almost going to hit 1 million. I'll be surprised if it doesn't hit 1 million in its first day. In fact, I'm going to have a bit of a guess that it's going to break the 4 million mark. There's a couple of things down here that are going to blow you away, certainly blowing my mind away, and we shall see. Now, one of the interesting things about Primal is it's had lots of playthrough videos already, so it has a bit of hype coming in here, but it's like focused hype from intelligent watching, I'll say that much. So you are going to be playing a hero or a heroine, and you're going to be facing the might of these monsters. There's some fantastic things. In fact, I think the best quote from Radho was, you know, this game is so cinematic. Everything you're doing is like amazing in this game. Epic moments, Board Game Co. says, and wild builds and combos. It's a blast. It's the one-shot co-op. So the AI is supposed to be absolutely fantastic, how it reacts to you, and you have within your team ways of mitigating what's going on and getting one step ahead of the monsters, totally engaging, and all this good stuff. Now, when it comes to Monster Hunters, what I really wanted to see from this game is a deep crafting section, and they've got this crafting and deep customization, which we'll see when we go down, but is it really good? Now, I'm on the €1 pledge just to balance the book. And also, it'd be interesting for me to ride the $1 pledge, €1 pledge, to when the official Monster Hunter game comes out. Because then there's a head-to-head. It's my €1 pledge versus the other pledge of the Monster Hunter. The Monster Hunter may focus more on a narrative campaign and monster campaign, whereas this, it's supposed to have a campaign, but we've not seen much of it as of yet. It has a campaign mode, but we've not seen this from the box. We have a tiny world map up here in the top left of this big what's in the box bit. And really it's a story mode, which is going to be like the cherry on the cake. And potentially the official Monster Hunter game might do that, but I'm keeping it on the €1 pledge just for a bit of fun here, where I can see which one really excites me. But I'm telling you now, what Primal have done here is set the bar so high, and we're just going to have to see what happens when the official game goes on Kickstarter later this year. I'm fairly happy not coming in here on the early bird, because the early bird is like just €10 off, and I don't really want to be paying all in when I know there's going to be a big competitor coming out on Kickstarter soon. So, and they've said in the FAQ that's no problem, you can $1 pledge in. They're kind of confident that when it goes head to head with the other game, that this one's going to blow it out the water. We'll just have to see here. But the game certainly is heavy on the mechanics, on the maintenance of what's going on. It can be overbearing for newcomers. If you're a gamer out there, you're going to love it. And it's supposed to be a phenomenal solo game as well. We can see all the cards here, which is containing all the crafting elements. We can also see here 12 monsters that are coming in the box. You do get this big baddie, so that's the end boss. Also, got some nice player boards here, and with a giant hero image of your character looking awesome. And of course, there's no dice in the game whatsoever. It does say it's going to be 30 minutes per player, so that's fairly interesting. That you could be maximum with your 4 players at 2 hours. But it is fighting the same character, the same boss for that amount of time. It's kind of a long boss battle. And if you're going through 12 monsters, you know, it's like almost you're playing the same game, right? So things need to change up. Well, certainly the AI of the monsters changes up. Your character's going to be crafting. Things will be changing. You will be getting stronger. And we'll just have to see that. Now, what's in the box? 1,200 cards. Oh my god, this is the biggest card heavy one box I've seen on Kickstarter. Tell me if another game eclipses this in the main box. And it must be a massive box, because 12 massive models and an XL monster, the end boss, and 4 hunters. We've got the guy with the great sword here. I love this guy's cape. It looks phenomenal. Love it. Mira on the great bow, and it's looking epic. It's like a 3 meter tall. How did she pull that back? And a giant arrow as well. Oh man, it's just epic, and isn't it? So the actual minis are looking really cool. There is unboxings out there, so you can have a look at the prototype models, but on the back of it, they're looking stupendous. Thoreg the Hammer here. Do like him as well. Love his armor, the big belt buckle he's got, and he's got a horn on the belt as well. Looks super cool. And we've got the Lorner sword and shield. Massive shield, isn't it? I love it. It's like a tower shield. So yeah, super cool. Also love his belt buckle too, looking nice. He's got some kind of cape behind him too, cloak wise, looking nice. And then we get like the monsters. But each character is going to get the action cards, and the upgrades are going to be all through these. And the thing that you're going to change then is the weapons you're getting. We'll see that as we go down. Now, one of the things with Monster Hunter is when you fight these monsters, you're going to be ripping things out of them to craft. You might be pulling off the horns of the animal or the teeth to make armor or make weapons. That's what Monster Hunter, the official game, potentially is going to do if it follows the video game. But we'll see the crafting when we go down. This is showing you the big 12 monsters that are coming out of the box. There's quite a lot of them. They're all varied, giant, have their own strategies, AI. They're all looking cool. Super art, super deck. They react to what you do. They can get frustrated. They level up as you fight them, so they get stronger and stronger in the battle, but become more vulnerable. And it's totally engaging when you're facing these monsters. All of them got great sculpt design. You've got to give props to the team. The art on the monster boards is looking sweet. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to come and face these things? So we're getting a lot of these monsters you may have seen if you played the video games, and it is interesting to see them in sculpture form, that is for certain. This guy, absolutely incredible. Aubrey Quex. They've all got like odd names. So if you like monster design, this has got 12 of them in the main, plus the giant one. Look at this guy. Super, super cool. And oh man, here we go then, the crafting. Now notice here, it's talking about the weapons, and it does have some helm, armor, and equipment cards, but is that crafting? Because they're not showing much of like the armor you're getting. They're showing off like the weapons here. There's a little bit of armor and plates here, but is that as focused as they want to get it? They're simplifying the armor, so you only have the plate mail in the chest and then the head. You know, you can't make some new leggings or make some new boots. They've kind of reduced the crafting and simplified it. And I don't know if I'm too happy about that, because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, the game certainly has its complexity in managing what's going on. So maybe this is just to simplify things in the fight. But no, so this one here is in the Fire Forge. The Fire Forge, it looks like you're going to get when you face certain enemies. Because there's different forges depending on what you've just done. Now, on this Fire Forge, it has 3 levels of the forge, and it tells you on the right of the item here what you actually need. So the Lava Buckler needs a set of scales and something, can't read that. The Wolf something gauntlets, that's scales and some blood. So potentially you're picking it off them, but there's none of these that are asking for specific stuff. Like, for this weapon, we need the 2 horns of Tarragua for whatever you're making. The Great Hammer or something. You need to get the 2 horns off this guy. The big ones. That's kind of your monster hunter, is the fun of taking from the monsters. I'm not actually seeing that here. So it's, when it comes to the crafting, you're losing a little bit of the theme of Monster Hunter crafting. And I think that the pictures as they evolve, some of them, like the sword here on the left, look okay, but the hammer doesn't look like that's increasing in power, only just adding like little bits to it and all that. But there's like loads of these forges where you're crafting different types of weapons, and I don't know if your characters are going to have different loadouts for the enemy types you're facing, or is it just straight up a linear upgrade path as you go through the forge levels. I'd love to see a deep dive video on the crafting. Hopefully the devs can put something out there, especially when it comes to armor crafting and all that stuff. But you can see here lots of armor updates from each of them, but it's basically your main weapon, your chest plate, and your helm. So yeah, are you going to be having different... That's the big question then. Are you going to be crafting linearly in a linear path through each forge, so that there's one ultimate forge out there that gives you the best equipment? And then you've got the alchemy in the book where you're crafting alchemy. I'd love to see this also. So yeah, that would be cool. This is the XL monster, the giant dragon, the awakened, and it does look cool. It does kind of mention that this guy's going to have a monster board. He's going to have his own board. That's what I'm reading here. Anyway, here's the quest board. It's kind of small and worries me if this is the campaign going through this little board. And not much narrative coming from quest cards and contract cards, but just I think that needs to be kind of explained how the campaign's working. Now the combat board here, it's one-sided, and why it's not got 2 sides, I don't know. That looks like something easy you do. You're going to be putting different terrain types on here, but you know, you're obviously maybe up a hillside here. Is it not kind of a monster you're going to be fighting in the snow or on tundra? Like, so many different environments here, and they've just got one combat board. But yeah, so hopefully we get to see different selections of boards, or even double 2-sided boards coming out. That's something that'd be nice. Ton of tokens and terrain types, and the terrain's interesting as well. Like if the monster sets fire to the board here, the flames do go down over the rounds, so it's kind of, you got to kind of manage the element terrains that's coming out. Now, interesting, you get the campaign sheets here, so you're like marking off what you've done. So maybe there is something here we're not seeing, how the campaign is working. Got a nice deep character sheet here though. This is kind of interesting as you're progressing through the whole, you know, the big list of monsters you're fighting. And it has its one-off scenarios. Now, if you want more character classes, they've got that, and they've got it in an expansion box. And they're looking stupendous. Oh my god. Second time I've used that now. Try to not use it, but... yeah, we've got a pair of chicky-doos, one with a giant gun, and one with 2 giant scythes, blades, I don't know what you want to call them. You've got, showing you here the kind of the crafting that you can make with these. And the gun in its crafting, super cool as well. And all having their own unique play styles, hopefully. Hopefully this gets explained. I'd like to see kind of what happens when you upgrade your first weapon, and then maybe show a mid-tier weapon, just to show kind of the strength that it will go to, or kind of show the difference between a gun from 2 different forges and why you'd pick one or the other. This would be nice, because we're not seeing that from the YouTube channels. Here's another expansion then, adding 2 more monsters, adding another new forge, and more crafting. It says it is going to extend the campaign of what you're playing. So look at this guy, Pazis, with all these colours, some kind of bird, looking terrible in a good way. Nagaris, this guy pink. I love the colours, the vibrancy of these monsters. They're looking really nice. And here's kind of the extended. So we're on 14 monsters now, going down into the next box. This will push it to 16. Again, more monsters, looking great. Mass snake, looking great too. These are like going to be great to paint. More crafting from these, and again, it's like, is there a tech tree going through the forges? I want to know this, because it looks on the face of it like it could be. Losing track now. 12 plus 4, that's 14. 16. This is going to be 18 monsters now with this box, the Borealis. Oh my god. And another beautiful artwork here, and is going to be great to paint. I'm loving the variety in colour from the monsters. The monster design is knockout. They've certainly nailed it here. And like this guy here, you're fighting this guy in the ice. Does he not come with a board? An ice board? I just want a variation in the board of the environments I'm fighting. That's what I want. Alright, why back now? It says that they are chopping 20% off the cost of the game. Yes, but your shipping is like outrageous. I'll say that much. And it says it is planned to come to retail, but is it going to have all these minis in it? That's the question. Are you going to be fighting standees? There's no real... that's not clear. And it certainly is unique, ambitious, and a massive product. It really is. Yeah. Pledge tier, then, I'd be going all in. In fact, if when it goes up against the Monster Hunter, if this wins, I'll certainly be going all in. I think it worries me that it's got a gameplay all in. So there's going to be some customizable options coming out, and then there's going to be like an all in pledge, isn't there? But just looking at the gameplay all in, look at all those boxes. It's going to look amazing on your shelf. In fact, just got Tainted Grail, all of that just delivered last week, and that's taking up a presence on the shelf. And this is also going to have a one that's really cool. I love the white boxes too. And yeah, this is the one I recommend. It's totally amazing. I'm wondering though, the 5th player expansion, so you can actually put a 5th player around the table. Now, you can add the ones in if you don't feel like you want to have the crafting from that box, or the monsters from that box, or the extensions of the campaign from that box. Are you kidding? So we're yet to see what's going to come out. They have got dailies, which are looking cool, and it looks like you're going to get another monster on the daily. This could be monster number 19. So is there going to be more than 20 monsters by the end of this campaign? Most likely. And definitely one to watch. A ton of great videos. I think I've been through all of these. I wanted to make sure I was on the ball with backing this, because it is like an epic, massive Kickstarter, isn't it? And I really do think they've crafted a legendary game here. So we've just got a few quibbles, and it basically is, how does the campaign work? Why have you not got more boards for the combat? Especially when certain monsters are coming from different regions, like why would you fight the snow monster in this? It kind of, the theme breaks away at that point, in my opinion. But that's something that might come as an add-on. It's like a non-gameplay add-on, isn't it? But we're going to do board tiles, and then it's going to put the pledge over 300. But yeah, why not? Talking here about management, you're going to get better than this in the playthroughs, and of course no dice in this game. Co-op, of course, does play well as solo, and the AI certainly reacts to what you're doing here. And the crafting, this needs to be explained more. It just says, by defeating monsters, the players unlock forge cards related to the monster's element that gives access to unique crafting options. But so you're going to be crafting different weapons, and you're going to be changing your loadout between different fights. And there's like I don't know. Is each forge have its own tech tree where one forge is clearly better than the other? That's kind of what I want to know. So with that, it's a light deck construction. You've only got 5 cards in your hand, and all the characters look really cool to play. The so-called epic campaign is a mystery, especially over just 2 decks here of cards. And I mean, look at this. You get a one-shot expedition mode in a book. Why is the campaign not in a book? So maybe it is, but not talking about that yet. So please, we need to see a video of that. Just showing some art here, some more stuff. The campaign is a very big page, and talking about the size of the minis here, yeah, they're massive. And here's the team from Italy that have done an amazing job. Now, shipping, you're going to go for, and this is just the core pledge. So even so, $1 pledge at least gives me transparency on cost of game with shipping, and also lets me then compare it with Monster Hunter, the official board game. Alright, so there we're at the end, and what an incredible Kickstarter. I'm really excited about what they're going to be bringing to the table. I want to see different boards that you fight on. I want to see the campaign explained, and I want to see if it is a tech tree, the forge system in the game. That's what I want to see. And I want to see also comparing some different weapons from different forges, just to see how different they really are. So I'm in there on the €1 pledge and hoping to see more. Certainly getting ready to strike all in when it comes to that point, but at the minute I'm quite happy just sitting there on the 1 and playing that little game where I get to compare it. If you subscribe to the channel, I will certainly be doing a comparison, and it will only be relevant if you've €1 pledged in, right? So are you going to join me in the $1 pledge strategy here? So yeah, it's going to be super cool to do that. But anyway, the game is doing remarkably well. I'm going to be coming back to see what the dailies are. I'll come back at the end just to do a final thoughts, of course, at the end of the 14 days here, and we'll see what all the dailies brought out. But I'm imagining it's going to be 20 monsters in total, and fingers crossed we get some boards. So On that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. I'm Lipstickpaddy, your host. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. This has been Primal, the Awakening Kickstarter. Oh my goodness, a really exciting game. And we will be back for final thoughts in 2 weeks' time. So you take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.